Hello everybody, and welcome back to the beautiful world of Avowed. Now I have about 30 hours of gameplay into this game, and this is just some more footage that I recorded of playing the game itself. I really do think that this game does have some potential. I do have certain gripes about it, like the created character, and the story is not the best story in the world. I see what they're trying to do, but it's not the worst story in the world either. It is definitely not the most unique. Another thing that a lot of people have questions about with Avowed is Avowed an open world game? A lot of people are like, no, it's not an open world game. It's a linear game, or it's open zoned game. Now, I don't really agree with either of those terms. It's definitely not a linear game. And I can't really say that it's an open zone game, because that reminds me of games from like 2000, 2001. I mean, we're talking like Donkey Kong 64 and Banjo-Kazooie and stuff like that, where you have, and even Mario 64, you have just like one level. You have this little tiny little area that's like the whole level. You get through it. That's a zone. You collect what you need to collect, get to the end of it. It's somewhat linear, but there's a little bit of leeway to where you can go. And then you go back to wherever you came from, and you hand in whatever you got to open up new stuff, and then you just rinse and repeat with the next level. The way that Avowed's world is, it's more or less, the best I can describe it is sort of like the way that they did The Witcher 3, where you have kind of like a main area, and then you kind of have like these sections, like these new sections, or like, Fallout 4, when they added Far Harbor and Nuka World, you still have your main map, and then you have these two new sections. They're much bigger than like these zones, and you have like free range of these sections. So I guess the best way I could describe the level build is almost like an sectioned open world map. Another thing that I want to touch on really quick is when it comes to the weapons. It doesn't matter if you have an enchanted weapon in Avowed, or if you don't, or if you have just a basic weapon. The tier of the weapon really changes what you can do in the game. So you have tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, and you have 3 levels of each tier. And as you go through the game, you break down items that you don't want when you're in camp. You try to build up the weapons and ammo or weapons and armor, that you have. Try to get it up to tier 3, and usually it starts at tier 1 like most games do. What bothers me about that is I put a lot of my points into the warrior or the fighter style of this game, but I have a tier 2 sword. That's an enchanted sword. And I have almost no points into the wizard attributes of the game. And I have a tier 3 wand. And the tier 3 wand, even though I didn't spend time putting extra points into that gameplay style, does a hell of a lot more damage than the enchanted sword does, even though I put more points into the warrior style of fighting in this game. So that confuses me a little bit. I don't know why they did that. And I'm still trying to figure out exactly how the leveling up and everything works in the game. I think this is the second area. I think this is called the Living Lands, I believe it is. And I gotta say though, even though I'm confused with certain things, getting little scenery areas like this, especially with me, like I said, I take my time with games. I'm 30 hours in, and I'm just kind of looking around. I'm just enjoying my time in the game, not trying to rush. I'm doing a lot of the side stuff, and I have to just be impressed with what the world looks like. Not so much with the character setup, but with the buildings and the ruins and everything else. I really can appreciate the world that they've crafted. Now, I was thinking, because I'm only showing little bits and pieces of my gameplay throughout these occasional Avowed updates and whatnot, I was just wondering if anyone would be actually interested in watching me take like a whole half hour, 45 minutes, something like that, of just straight gameplay, no real editing, just going straight through to get an idea of what I'm doing with the game, where I'm at in the game, how it works. Yeah, this is more bounties, yeah. These seem to pay pretty good, and they are a little bit challenging, but you get some pretty good stuff out of them sometimes. One of the things that you want to make sure that you keep stocking up on is this Aegir stuff, because that's what you need once your weapons and armor seem to get to tier 3 to keep them getting updated. But anyway, before I distracted myself, I was wondering, would anybody who watches my videos actually be interested in seeing me go through a little bit of time in this game, just straight up like half-hour straight gameplay? Let me know in the comments below. This is the wand that apparently I have that's stronger than my sword, even though I put more points into trying to build up the sword strength. So I guess I'll find some bad guys and show you how efficient the wand is compared to my sword. And while I'm taking a hike, I'm also going to say that I don't understand why this game is rated M for mature or whatever. I really don't see how. As far as I can see, you're not empaling people, you're not ripping limbs off, you're not blowing people's heads off. The worst that I've seen is you freeze them to smithereens, and there's not like, fatalities, blood and gore and stuff coming out of the person. I haven't seen any nudity. That, you see plenty of that in Witcher. I didn't see any of that in here either. I do hear an occasional curse, but most of the time the curses are in different languages that don't even exist in the real world. So I'm trying to figure out, why is it a rated M game? I don't know. But anyway, with that off my chest, I do like the game. I think the scenery is really nice. I think if you take your time, go through the game, be patient with it, and just kind of walk around like, look at this weird thing. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's pretty cool. But I think if you just do that, I think you can actually enjoy this game as well. And at this time, I don't think that my rating can really change a whole lot. If anything, it's actually gone up a little bit. I think as of right now, I'll give this game a 7.8 out of 10. So anyway, yeah, if you want to watch me play this game straight through for a little while, leave a comment down below. Thanks for your time, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye now.